Now, this is a state in which you're wide awake, but you're calm, your body is still, and so forth, so that your consciousness can go out into a kind of meditation. This is the way it's described by Self-Realization Fellowship. The advanced yogi is able to withdraw his mind from the physical senses and direct their subtle astral powers to the inner activities of soul-freeing work. So that's amazing, the idea that you can actually direct your spirit away from your physical senses and somewhere else. It's quite astounding. And Swedenborg talks about this kind of state. Here's an example of something that happened to him when he was meditating. This is from True Christianity. On one occasion, when I was meditating on the Lord's second coming, so it's interesting to me, his meditation had a topic. When I was meditating on the Lord's second coming, an intensely bright light suddenly appeared and shone right in my eyes. It's clear from context that this was a spiritual light. I looked up and was amazed to see that the whole heaven above me was full of light. I heard praises upon praises in a long chain from the east to the west. So Swedenborg says that this actually had an impact as well as such an astonishing idea on people in the spiritual world. Like the way that they would perceive him would change. He says sometimes he would do this. Here's a quote from True Christianity. He's talking about approaching someone. So Swedenborg's gone off in a meditation, and he's directed his spirit. He sees someone he wants to talk to in the spiritual world, and he's walking on a road toward this person. And here's where we pick it up. When he saw me, this other person in the spiritual world, he said, I was astounded when I saw you coming along the road, because one moment you would be in view, and the next you would disappear. One moment I can see you, and then suddenly I cannot. You're definitely not in the same state of life as we are, talking about all the other people who are up there in the spiritual world. Tickled by that, I said, I'm not a trickster or a magician, but I do come and go. One moment I'm in the light for you, the next moment I'm in the shade. In this world, meaning the spiritual world, I'm both a foreigner and a native. So interesting. The sage looked at me and said, what you're saying is strange and amazing. Tell me who you are. Swedenborg says, I'm in the world where you used to live and have now left, I said, which is called the earthly or physical world. I'm also in the world where you are now, called the spiritual world. As a result, I'm in an earthly state and a spiritual state at the same time. I'm in an earthly state with people on earth and in a spiritual state with all of you. When I'm in an earthly state, you do not see me. When I'm in a spiritual state, you do see me. This circumstance of mine is a gift from the Lord. As an enlightened man, you know that people in the earthly world do not see people in the spiritual world or the reverse. Therefore, when I put my spirit in my body, you do not see me. But when I take it out of my body, you do see me. This happens because of the difference between what is spiritual and what is earthly. So this is just like that yogi quote that Swedenborg was able to put his spirit in his body, put his spirit out of the body. And so from a spiritual perspective of other people in the spiritual world, when he would put his spirit in his body, he would do this. He disappears. But then when he puts his spirit back in the spiritual world, then suddenly he rematerializes.